1845, the Nautilus Life Insurance Company opens for business. It is soon renamed New York Life. Over the years, the company will protect the assets of millions of policyholders, including 9 U.S. presidents, and other greats, including Susan B. Anthony, Harry Houdini, and Babe Ruth. Throughout its history, the company relies on innovation as a way to excel and grow its business. In fact, just 1 year after opening its doors, the company is the first insurer to declare cash dividends for its policyholders. And again in 1860, the company is one of the first insurance companies to add a non-forfeiture option to its policies. This forever alters the nature of life insurance. During the Civil War, the company establishes its reputation for integrity and humanity by paying death claims in southern states, often crossing battle lines under a flag of truce to do so. 1876. Following the Battle of Little Bighorn, the company pays $40,000 in death claims on the lives of policyholders General George Armstrong Custer and several of his officers. Between 1845 and 1898, New York Life becomes a global company with over 200 offices in 63 countries, including Great Britain, France, Germany, Belgium, Russia, Italy, and Austria. The company also establishes offices in Mexico, South America, and Asia. The company emblazons its policies with the phrase, "The Great International Life Insurance Company." As the 20th century approaches, New York Life innovations set the pace for the industry. It is first to establish a branch office system for its field force in 1892. 2 years later, the company is among the first to insure women at the same premium rates as men. 1906, a devastating earthquake and ensuing fires level San Francisco. Quick-thinking employees bury company records in Golden Gate Park and later are able to issue on-the-spot loans days before competitors. The company's reputation is enhanced. World War I and political destabilization abroad forced the company to withdraw from the international market for several decades. 1928, United States President Calvin Coolidge presses a button in the White House that unfurls a flag in New York for the opening of our new building at 51 Madison Avenue. Later, Coolidge joins New York Life's board of directors. 1929, the stock market crashes and the Great Depression follows. Thousands of companies collapse, but New York Life remains steadfast and strong throughout. It continues to pay claims and dividends and make policy loans. 1946, another innovation. The company creates an Agents Advisory Council to promote the partnership between the home office and field force. 1955, New York Life agent Ben Feldman, a rising star in the industry, sells $10 million face value of life insurance. 20 years later, he sells over $100 million of insurance in 1 year. In his lifetime, Feldman sells over $1 billion of insurance. 1983, New York Life establishes the first field force management consultant. 1988, the company acquires a life insurance company in Hong Kong and re-enters the international market. Over the ensuing years, New York Life International expands throughout Asia and Latin America, establishing a presence in Argentina, the People's Republic of China, India, Indonesia, Mexico, the Philippines, South Korea, Taiwan, Thailand, and Vietnam. In a short time, New York Life International goes from being a footnote on the corporate balance sheet to becoming an increasingly significant portion of the company's overall business. And in 2000, contributes over 30% of New York Life's total insurance sales. 2000, New York Life celebrates the official naming of the New York Life Building as an historic New York City landmark. A prominent part of New York City's skyline, the New York Life Building symbolizes the company's enduring strength and stability. 2001, New York Life continues its proud reputation for highly trained professional agents throughout the world by celebrating its 47th straight year as the leader in MDRT membership. After the shocking terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001, New York Life was one of the first insurers to pledge the swift, compassionate settlement of claims resulting from that tragic day. Meanwhile, New York Life employees and agents across the nation quickly organized blood drives and fundraisers that complemented the $4 million in grants made by the New York Life Foundation to the American Red Cross and the September 11th Fund. New York Life also produced a series of public service announcements for the Red Cross. And just days after the attacks, was the first company to make a multi-million-dollar investment in a real estate development just blocks from Ground Zero. Throughout its proud history, New York Life has forged a tradition of integrity, humanity, and strength. And in the 21st century, the company will continue to lead through innovation and professionalism. This legacy of greatness remains unchallenged and has made New York Life the company you keep.